Coming up on China Report. The export version of the China-developed advanced trainer FTC-2000 aircraft has rolled off the production line in southwest China's Guizhou province. And 3 giant pandas, born and raised in Japan, will begin a new life in China. Hello and welcome to this edition of China Report. I'm Zhang Zaiyi in Beijing. Now, the latest from East China's petrochemical blast, where rescuers have retrieved a further 7 bodies from the site, bringing the death toll to 8.
8 people in all are known to have died when a liquefied gas tanker exploded in Shandong province on Monday morning. 9 others were injured. The explosion is thought to have been triggered by a fire in the loading area of Linyi Jianyu Petrochemical Company, which is located in the city's Langan Economic Development Area. As of 4 p.m., the fire in Linyi City had been put out, with secondary disasters unlikely. More than 900 firefighters and over 170 fire engines were mobilized to extinguish the flames, with people in nearby villages and plants evacuated. Police have detained the owner of the company, and an investigation is underway.
A ferry boat has overturned in eastern China's Anhui province, leaving 4 people dead and 3 people injured.
The boat carrying 39 farmers overturned on a river in Mengji Township of Huoqiu County on Monday morning. 4 people died in the incident, and the 3 injured are now in stable condition. Local authority dispatched more than 400 people to participate in rescue. The driver has been taken into police custody. Further investigation is underway.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is due to pay a state visit to Kazakhstan this week, where he will attend the 17th meeting of the SCO Council of Heads of State and the opening ceremony of the World Expo in Astana. Ahead of his visit, we talked to a senior Chinese diplomat and asked him what this visit means to regional cooperation.
Li Huilai is an assistant foreign minister. He said Xi's trip could boost ties between the 2 countries.
The visit is Xi's first visit abroad since the Belt and Road Forum on International Cooperation held in mid-May, and one of China's major diplomatic activities for Kazakhstan and Eurasia this year. The visit will help further improve the relationship between China and Kazakhstan, as well as the Eurasian countries, and forge ahead the healthy and stable development of the SCO.
The 2 presidents will exchange views on bilateral ties, look to align their development strategies and ways to cooperate on the Belt and Road Initiative. On the SCO, Li said that with the accession of India and Pakistan, the SCO would further improve its potential for cooperation and representation. After the Astana summit, China will assume the rotating presidency and will host the next meeting in 2018.
China's manned submersible Jiaolong completed its second dive, 5 kilometers down into the Yap Trench on Monday.
Jiaolong reached its planned depth of 5,100 meters, where scientists worked for more than 3 hours. The submersible collected samples of rock, sediment, deep-sea life, and seawater in this dive and recorded images of the sea floor. It's scheduled to conduct 3 more dives in the trench.
Chinese scientists think they have found a new way to treat cancer of the plasma cells. Multiple myeloma affects under 1% of people at some point in their life, and until now has generally been considered as incurable.
The announcement was made at the annual meeting of the American Society of Clinical Oncology held in Chicago. There, a Chinese team explained how the therapy called chimeric antigen receptor or CAR T-cell immunotherapy could be a safe and effective way to treat the cancer. A study by Xi'an Jiao Tong University showed 33 out of 35 patients with multiple myeloma began to recover after receiving experimental CAR T-cell products. Michael S. Sable, fellow of the American College of Surgeons, called the trial of the therapy and the science behind it revolutionary.
I think what you're seeing here is the expansion of immunotherapy to cancers that really are refractory to chemotherapy, and how immunotherapy is now really providing hope to a lot of patients with cancers that were not really responding to our standard chemotherapies. But what I also think is really fascinating about this and similar forms of research is you are now seeing the merger of immunotherapy with precision medicine. This is really the epitome of personalized medicine.
Zhao Wenhong, who organized the study, explained what makes this treatment so much more successful than previous attempts.
Why is there such a good curative effect? It is because of the specialty of our product. Our product is a specific dual targeting treatment. That is, the vast majority of the CAR T are single targeting treatment. It is like using one hand to catch a ball. The ball is a tumor cells. Using a single target, one hand, to capture the ball. It is really hard, and the ball will slip easily. Then our dual targeting treatment is like using both hands to catch the ball, which can hold the ball tightly. In this way, we can capture tumor cells and then kill the tumor cells. So this is the main reason why our products are more efficient.
Fan Xiaohu, who helped invent the treatment, says, as well as curing patients, the discovery could help boost Chinese medical industry too.
Now we have invented a multi-specific, multi-targeting CAR T technology, which is a unique technology around the world. We have intellectual property protection over our invention. So if in the future the international pharmaceutical companies want to produce similar products, they will have to obtain authorities from us.
Multiple myeloma is a cancer of plasma cells from bone marrow. Without treatment, typical survival is around 7 months. Although through chemotherapy, steroids, and stem cell transplants, this can be extended to 4 or 5 years.
The export version of the China-developed advanced trainer FTC-2000 aircraft has rolled off the production line in southwest China's Guizhou province. The FTC-2000, also named Mountain Eagle or Shanying in Chinese, is a supersonic advanced fighter trainer. With few of its kind on the military market, the aircraft will be delivered to overseas clients after necessary procedures and tests. The aircraft was developed by the Guizhou Aviation Industry Corporation. The single-engine light versatile aircraft is a new generation of advanced fighter trainers designed to teach new pilots the demands of flying a modern fighter. It's also capable of performing combat missions. In China, the FTC-2000 is the main advanced trainer used by the PLA Air Force and the PLA Navy. By the end of the decade, China is expected to have a total of 150,000 kilometers of railway, including 30,000 kilometers of high-speed rail. The fast development of this high-speed rail network really shake up the world rail industry. By the end of 2016, China had 22,000 kilometers of high-speed rail, more than the rest of the world combined. But this figure is only set to rise. China's high-speed rail will increase to 30,000 kilometers by 2020. It is according to Fu Zhihuan, a member of China Academy of Engineers, at the 2017 World Transport Convention in Beijing on Monday. Despite China's vast territory, the current network now spans across the country, from the more developed regions on the eastern coast to provincial capitals in the south and inland.
China has established a complete HSR technology system and become one of those few countries in the world controlling packaged HSR technology.
Some have argued that China has benefited from its position as a late adopter. However, Fu says that due to China's difficult terrain, with its vast array of mountains, frozen temperatures, tropical storms, deserts, and massive rivers, much of the learning has to be developed at home.
China has such a vast territory, its weather and geological conditions are quite complicated. It's impossible to borrow experiences of railway construction from other countries. China's SHR civil engineering technology, mainly based on long-term accumulation of experience, is the fruit of independent innovation.
China's high-speed rail runs at speeds of 300 to 350 kilometers per hour, faster than most of the world's bullet passenger services. Authorities said 7 people died and many more were injured after a coach fell from a highway bridge in East China's Shandong province Tuesday morning. The accident happened at around 10 a.m. local time on the Shenyang-Haikou Expressway near the city of Rizhao. According to local traffic police, the coach slid on the slippery road surface following a downpour, then rolled onto its side and went over the edge of the bridge. Police, firefighters, and medical personnel arrived at the site. Reports said more than 30 passengers were on board. Further investigation is underway. 3 giant pandas born and raised in Japan have arrived in Chengdu in southwest China, where they will begin a new life.
The panda twins and their younger sister had been living at Adventure World in Shirahama, Wakayama Prefecture in Japan. The male-female twins, called Hai Bang and Yan Ban, were born on August 11, 2010, while their younger sister, Yo Ban, was born on August 10, 2012. In 1994, the Chengdu base and the Japanese park started a panda breeding research program. Over the years, 15 pandas have been bred, with 8 returned to China. Cubs born to pandas on loan from China must be returned after they reach sexual maturity or when the cooperative agreement ends. The 3 pandas will return to Chengdu Research Base of giant panda breeding on Tuesday. They will undergo a month-long quarantine and orientation period before meeting the public.
Chinese archaeologists have excavated a temple that had disappeared for nearly a millennium in Chengdu in southwest China.
The Fugan Temple was a famous temple used in the period between the Eastern Jin dynasty around the 4th century to the Southern Song dynasty around the 13th century. Archaeologists have unearthed over 1,000 tablets inscribed with Buddhist sculptures, some 500 pieces of stone sculpture, and tiles with inscriptions.
We have only excavated a part of the temple's era, but already have a glimpse of its past glory.
Dao Xuan, a famous monk in Tang Dynasty, once wrote that after a special rite to end a drought was performed at the temple, it began to rain just as if the prayers had been heard in heaven. The story was the record of how the temple got its name, Fugan, which means blessings are noted. Famous Tang Dynasty poet Liu Yuxi left a poem to commemorate the temple's renovation, describing its heavenly appearance. The poem further noted the temple's important role at that time. However, the building was later damaged during the Tang and Song dynasties, with all traces of the temple disappearing during periods of war. Archaeologists said they have found the temple's foundation, ruins of surrounding buildings, wells, roads, and ditches. They also have found some 80 ancient tombs near the temple, dating back to Shang and Zhou dynasties. They also unearthed household tools and building materials dating back to the Song to Ming dynasties. Chengdu became an economic and cultural center in western China during the Sui and Tang dynasties. Experts say the temple's discovery could provide key evidence for the spread of Buddhism in China at that time.
VR, or virtual reality, is a computer technology that replicates an environment, real or imagined, and simulates a user's physical presence and environment to allow for user interaction. VR artificially creates sensory experience, which can include sight, touch, hearing, and smell. It may have been around for decades, but VR has been anything but real for most people. That all may be about to change as a latest batch of VR gadgets and apps make their way to the market. VR stimulates the 3D environment that resembles the real world, usually through a headset or VR glasses. In the minds of the general public, VR is still most closely associated with gaming. At least the Tokyo Game Show, one of the largest game shows in the world, VR technology was taking the spotlight.
Games with VR technologies are most popular now, just like the VR games right behind me. Many students in my school now focus on VR and VR-related courses. Computers, mobile phones, and game devices are using the latest technologies.
Japan is one of the most advanced countries in the gaming industry.
Yoshifumi said, with the development of new technologies, more students have chosen game-related majors at school.
This year is called the first year of VR. Everyone says that. The head-mounted displays are sold everywhere. They can offer you a different feel than other devices, as you could feel the world in front of your eyes. It's so real and you can naturally interact with the things in that world. This part is very difficult and the other games can hardly give you this kind of feel.
VR is also introduced to cartoons in China. VR cartoons are three-dimensional, floating in the air. It's an unprecedented way of displaying and appreciating cartoons. New technology is also used in cartoon creation. Creators use nothing but hands to draw a picture and walk in it to and from. So far, various pictures such as the space can be drawn in 3D room.
It stimulates a three-dimensional environment. You can do calligraphy, make a sculpture, or draw cartoons there. It is also possible to create dynamic images like flames and shiny stars. You feel like walking in pictures.
All works can be saved for display for modification. VR is supposed to completely change visual experiences.
Watching 3D movies, you just look at screens, but with VR, you can walk into screens. For creators, now they are still out of what they are creating, while VR can put them into it.
Also in Vancouver, the crowds and lengthy lineups say it all.
Your aiming, your shooting, your movements are captured perfectly by our system, which makes it really a kind of more of a sport than anything else. So being able to move around and people seeing that, it's fun for spectating. It's an overall exciting experience.
After trying out the Wild West shooting game, one gamer said the VR technology has improved a lot since he first started playing it in Vancouver arcades about 15 years ago.
I remember the oldest thing I did was at Palladium here in Metrotown. They had like the virtual fighting punching game, and it was terrible back then because for me it's like I'm punching but nothing ever registered. So this was actually it's a lot more realistic and it actually feels like it's very responsive. So yeah, it's gotten way better.
Moreover, you can enjoy relaxation in a system virtual reality. All users need is a headset and a smartphone app to take a short trip into a meditative state whenever they want, wherever they are. They are treated to soothing sounds in a peaceful virtual location.
So people have the ability to go to a tropical beach or a Japanese garden and just take a breather and escape from the everyday.
Then I got transformed into a scene with in the sea, sitting amid the rocks and just looking around, and with some voiceover talking to me about peacefulness and all that kind of stuff. And initially I was just trying to look around and do all that, but then you settle down into it, and it's pretty neat. It's, until somebody knocked on me and said that your time is out, right?
For VR, the next big areas of expansion are expected to be healthcare. In the operating room of the second affiliated hospital of Zhejiang University School of Medicine, a live surgery of cataract extraction and artificial lens implantation was being broadcast. Dozens of doctors watched the whole process of the surgery in a 3D environment equipped with the VR devices.
In such a small diameter, students who just start learning the operation normally cannot understand what is going on. The thickness of the crystal is about 4 or 5 millimeters, so it is extremely hard to operate in a 1 centimeter wide place. After the introduction of the VR technology, the whole surgery is operated in the 3-dimensional setting. So I think it may be really helpful for operation under the microscope in an environment like this in the future.
I think VR provides a good approach for us. It transforms a planar image to a tridimensional one, so we would have a comprehensive assessment and understanding of the concept of space when operating in a narrow area.
At the same time, a new VR device is invented for the diagnosis of glaucoma. It looks like just normal VR glasses. But actually, the glasses can play images to stimulate vision and strap it back, can collect electroencephalogram changes and measure the action in changed brain nervous system in order to detect glaucoma. That is the amazing part.
For
example, when we show a flash to a normal person, we can see the response in the brain. If someone has glaucoma, some parts of the eyes are blind, so the response will be different. We can find out which part is blind from the differences.
The current common diagnosis of glaucoma is standard automatic perimetry, or SAP. In medical institutions, a patient has to record the light spots he sees by manual button. In this process, if the patient loses focus or moves head, then the result is impaired. Now, this new technology is under clinical trial in the United States. Experts find that it can detect areas where SAP cannot. Electroencephalogram can be used not only for early diagnosis of glaucoma, but also as significant index in disease and pharmacy.
Our method is more sensitive than SAP. Patients with glaucoma can know the medical effect with this method. This is very important. Traditionally, patients can only have 3 tests annually and a large amount of data is needed. It takes patients 1 to 1.5 years averagely to know if the treatment takes effort. We hope that with this device, we can shorten the period to 3 months.
Li Zhan, a VR cameraman, started his business in 2012 at his hometown Nanchang, a city in southeast China.
We should cultivate VR industry for a long way, instead of making quick money. I think the whole industry needs 10 years to develop at least.
VR technology, born as early as 1963, is now ready for industrialization and will approach consumers in form of head-mounted displays in the next stage. Factually, high-tech firms around the world are competing to rush into VR industry. Wang Guoping, professor in the School of Electronics Engineering and Computer Science at Peking University, pointed out that VR can show more possibilities than we can imagine.
China国南方航空是中国运输飞机最多、航线网络最发达、年客运量最大的航空公司。亚洲第一，全球第3，是南航缔造的业界奇迹。蓝天壮志情，云海谱华章。
Chinese channel, 小小中文 Lesson 17. In this lesson, we will be teaching you these 6 Chinese characters. For our last lesson, we learned the character 小. If we turn that downstroke to the left and do a horizontal stroke and change the dots directions and add a R under it, it turns into Guang. Guang. Guang means light. Yang Guang. Yang Guang. Yang Guang. Yang Guang means sunlight. Guang is the building block of these 2 characters. Turn Guang into the root character 小 and put 2 horizontal strokes on top to make 是 means to show. 出世 means to show. turn 是 into 小, but make that vertical stroke with a hook longer and put 2 strokes like this to make 乐 means happy. 快乐 means happy. If we turn 乐 back into 小 and add 2 different strokes like this to make 东 means east. 东方 means east. Next, we'll learn a new root character. What's this? 勺 means spoon. 勺子 means spoon. If we extend the dot in the middle with a box, this character is 句 means sentence. 句子 means sentence. Okay, let's write. Remember to follow the stroke sequence when you're writing. 光 means light. 是 means to show. 乐 means happy. 东 means east. 勺 means spoon. 字 means sentence. Bye-bye, the lesson is done. Savannah Starball.